Social à Défense. L'union fait la force, hein. Bon, Victoria, d'ailleurs, plein bras. Bon, maintenant, pour le Léon, l'été. Dingo, dingo, non. Ah, au Sogoro, oh, ah, oh. Dingo, dingo, non. Dingo, non, dingo, non, ah, oh. Ah, oh, Dieu, ah, oh, Dieu. Ah, oh, Dieu, ah, oh. Allô, Hagara, quoi, un peu, c'est à quoi? That's why nobody you for your demo now. Oh dear, getting a ball on you. Oh dear, I cannot go over your paper. Nigga, don't give him away. Papa, you don't need more than one. Oh dear. Nigga, don't give him away. Apa si lo ne mo da wo si lo ne bo ko ba ka wo ke na da wa ba yo le anu bo yi na bi ya ni wa sa ke nyo we yo Tonto Natalie bo yi no ka de ni wa dai mo no e go ni go no anu so go ja de
Good evening to welcome. Okay, good evening, welcome. I'm Afonso Zienso to the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Today is Father's Day. Across the globe, we say happy Father's Day to all of the fathers across the country. We're going to have a conversation here, community conversation here, and our determination not to leave no one behind. This is a traditional song from Krovomin. Welcome to the show. I want to say welcome, Mr. Emmanuel. Happy Father Day. Jackson Swint, happy Father Day. And Sophie, good to have you here. Tanund, good evening. Aliyu, happy Father Day. This is the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV on this Father Day, the 18th month of June, 2023. Welcome to the show. Very shortly, we're going to get the program going.
Président, Oscar Pascal, you know I just did. Keke Del Master, Pierre, Aïssia.
All right, taking you to the southeastern side of Liberia, and that's legendary Kurumi. I What a beautiful song right here this evening. Very shortly, we will get this program going. I am Afonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. Taking a community conversation here this evening. Welcome to the show. Let's start the song here a little bit. Time is already eating away. We say good evening, good morning. If you are in Liberia, we're almost getting to be morning time. But today, in our quest to have no one left behind, we always will try to engage in community conversation as well. And so I'll be coming home from here this afternoon or evening my time, so that we can have some of the conversations. Guess what? Because these people, at the end of the day, they also seek the higher office of the land. So for us here at LPR, we don't take things lightly. these people, we just do not know what's going to be their next move after taking on these community organizations. They built on it as their credential, and they go to Liberia. They want to be president, they want to be senator, they want to be representative. So we don't joke with it. And this is why we always have this conversation going here. Welcome to the show. Very shortly, my guests, they are lining up back here. They are here, and we're going to be having this conversation. This is the Diaspora Informative News Magazine, Liberia Public Radio. Welcome to the show. Welcome you. I am Alfonso Zain, so right here from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. We say good evening and we say happy Father's Day to all of the fathers across the globe. In Liberia, in Burkina Faso, in my own town to be across the globe. And to you, especially our committed fathers, we say happy Father's Day. I want to say thank you to all of the mothers, the wives, the sisters, because we are such a group of people that are hard to deal with, but yet and still, you still hang in there. And we do some horrible things, but still, you still consider us and you still do all of these good things. We say thank you so much for being here. Now, everybody that wear pants is a father. There are some fathers who just hold, but we are not here to put anyone down here this evening. We just say happy Father's Day. Well, I'm coming home from today. My district, my county, here the Republic of Liberia. And this is the nature of this network. We value every conversation, no matter how it may be. It don't necessarily have to sound political before we find interest in it. But guess what? If you will know and you will agree with me, the histories of the Liberian politics generated from here in the diaspora and other places, they come here to build up their good community involvement, good credential, and they made that argument inside Liberia. They want to be president, they want to be representative, they want to be senator. So why not have a conversation, give them the opportunity as well as the strive to serve their community. My own district, Gbarzon district, of which I was humbled to serve as a former national president, will be hosting her national convention this year in the Midwest. This year convention is climaxed with a presidential or elections, where sons and daughters are now coming forward, expressing their interest, exploring the means to be the president of the district. Gbarzon district is from Grand County District number 3. The face of Grand Jayee. When you enter Grand Jayee County, that's the district you encounter. Mr. Brown or Jayee is based in Minneapolis, Minnesota, is seeking for the office of the land. He went the first time. It didn't work out. Black Dragon revenge the death of Bruce Lee. That's not the end of the marathon. So he's coming back with a new face, new vision, a new team, perhaps. So he reached out with the Liberia Public Radio to have his conversations about his vision for the district. And that's what I found quite interesting and fascinating, and was given the opportunity than any other person. So Mr. Brown is standing by in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and his vice presidential experiment. The inclusiveness of women in today's national conversations is just across the globe, equal, been proportionally been exercised. His number 2 is from my home state, in the ocean state of Rhode Island. Madam Bessie Khan is on the VP slot. What a task ahead of us. Let me go into Minneapolis, Minnesota, where Jayee Brown is standing by, and I'm going to be breaking in here this evening. So let's see here this happy Father's Day. Just adjust your camera a little bit, let my viewers get a sense, and I'm also going to be, if you can just, no, not, okay, maybe at that level is good. Yeah, I want to see, yeah. So I'm gonna be bringing in the vice presidential aspirant based next door to me in the Ocean State on the other suburb of Providence. Madam Bessie Khan is also here. Let me bring in Bessie here. Okay. Madam Khan, if you can elevate, you can just put your camera up to a little bit. We will see you good. Bessie, are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, so what you do for me, just see whether you can elevate your camera a little bit, just sort of push it up or just adjust your device so that we can see
Okay.
you good. I don't want people to say we're not, we see the vice president, we can only see the help. So how, all you just have to do, just maybe lift your camera, just some sort of, okay,
Okay.
there
Yeah,
you
exactly. Yeah.
go.
Worry.
Wow. Is that you already in your office working? Oh my goodness, man. Okay. Well, guys, Madam Khan, good to have you here. Thank you. You have been heavily involved in the work of the district, which is so good. We intend not to leave no one behind. So let me do quick editing here. I don't want people to say why you put a man on there, why you don't put a woman on there. Okay. All right. VP aspiring. GDAA. Welcome, welcome. You know, for me, I get my retirement here, so maybe who knows through your we get our social security since we said we have not gotten anything. Okay, guys, good evening. Welcome, Madam Khan. Welcome, Mr. Jayee. Brown, based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Good evening, guys. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. So.
Okay. So let's do a little bit brains teaser here, Madam Khan. Good evening. Good to have you. I believe this is the first time on LPR. We say welcome. Hopefully, this is not going to be the last time here. Once you get in the White House of Gbarzon District, and you're going to be a regular visitor. Let's do a brains teaser here. Today is Father's Day. What did you do at home? Well, what happens today? What was the biggest news for you, Mr. Jayee?
Oh, it's for me or for
Yeah.
Bessie?
Oh man, you're the father now.
Oh, okay.
Today is Father's Day. What was your activity like? What it means to even try to observe this day in your time? Let's do a little bit, kind of neutralize the conversation. Father's Day, what is the significance of that? What is it so important? Everybody, Father's Day, happy Father's Day, happy Father's Day. Is it that important?
Thank you so much, Mr. So. Good evening to all our listeners and those who are watching from around the world. It has been 6 years since I was on the show. I remember quite well 2017 when we started. Here we are back again. A lot of things happened, COVID-19, and a lot of people died. I want to say my condolences to everyone who lost their loved one. It's very difficult. We all know exactly what COVID did to us. As I said, it is always a pleasure to be here to discuss issues relating to our district. And with respect to Father's Day, I mean, as you know, if you look at the statistics today, there are a lot of broken homes, broken families, either because the father is not in the home. And we as African traditionally, the man is the head of the home. He has to be very strong if he is to raise very good kids. So now it is very hard to find a good father. So this day is very important. It's a kind of reminder for all of us as fathers to say, you know what, even though times are very tough, or let's keep doing what we are doing. Let us not get tired, irrespective of the jobs we do, especially in this country now in Africa, wherein you find a father or mother doing 2, 3 jobs. To be in the home with children is very, very difficult. So when this day comes, it's a kind of reminder to all of us, the father, to say, you know what, let's keep working hard, let us not give up. For me, that's the significance of it.
Okay. I don't think there's any answer wrong here, even though it's not a Father Day, but the mothers, the sisters, the wife, they are so tolerant and patient with we the father. Okay, they all kind of jaja father then too. But these people are so patient. So let me bring in Madam Khan. Madam Khan, did you reach anybody happy Father's Day today?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. Why?
Because fathers are very important in our life. They are our backbone in everything we do. So on this special day, we have to appreciate them and encourage them to continue to be the best fathers they are.
Okay. Even though we are some people are bad father, but still you guys still, and that's a good thing. Ladies, women are very tolerant. They are they always have a forgiving. They gotta always have a human side of doing things. I don't care how tough. It's the same way when a man back home, when a man brutalizes the woman and this all kind of thing, and go kill the complaint or to the old party, and then the old man and party can't waste time. When they start going through her now, then they just say, okay, complain, they start getting bad feelings again. Say, no, Papa, that be so, we'll fix it. Okay, guys, good evening. So welcome. We always like to create some sort of human conversations on this network here before we can get going here. Okay, so let's come to this conversation here this evening. And Mr. Brown, BOJ, if we were to call you. Let's set the stage here. Gbarzon District Association, for the basis of for those who are not from that region, set the stage here. When they're talking about Gbarzon District Association, where specifically are they talking about, and what is the significance of this organization?
Gbarzon District, as we all know, is one of the 3 districts that we have in Grand Jayee County. Grand Jayee County is in the southeastern region of the country. And Gbarzon District is one of the, I can say, one of the largest districts in Grand Jayee County. It's well known. Gbarzon District is known for its agricultural activities, its hospitality. We border Africa Coast. Not only that, we are also known for having a kind of rainforest, which is also important as far as Liberia's economy is concerned. So briefly, for those who are not familiar with Gbarzon District is within Grand Jayee County. It's one of 3 districts that we have, and so far, I think that is that. Not to overwhelm you with a lot of information concerning the district.
Okay, I'll come and do a quick pop quiz. Are you ready for it?
I will try, yeah.
That's part of your way to this presidency here. Who is the current representative of Gbarzon District?
Oh, for me or for the VP?
No, that you the one.
Oh, for me, okay. Honorable Chesia Grant.
Chesia, yeah, you passed it. Okay. Because if you are not called the answer, they will say, well, wait a minute, why is he?
I know.
Okay, let me go to Madam Khan, who is a VP Aspirant. Do you want to introduce yourself? I don't want to introduce people is so hard. I don't want to leave important information out. Who is Bessie Khan? For those who don't know, what can you tell us about yourself?
Bessie Khan. I live in Rhode Island. I'm from Gbarzon District. To be precise, it's Lettown.
Okay.
And I came to America 20-something years ago.
Ooh.
And I've been living in Rhode Island.
I'm
one of the strongest members of Gbarzon District.
Okay, good. All right. Sometimes we can create a bizarre conversation on this network. It takes brave people to come here. Sometimes the unexpected is all we pull out here. Okay, let's get to the conversation. Brown, the last time around, I remembered you contested for this organization's leadership. That did not work out. And you want to contest again, correct?
Correct, yeah.
So why?
When we contested in 2017 in Rhode Island, an event, it was historic. I think the entire world, according to people, those that watched, that followed the election very closely, they said it was one of the most viewed elections, local elections, as far as community elections is concerned, in the entire United States, worldwide. It was very peaceful. It was very civil. We fell short, and we felt that we have more to do. We have more to do. But even though the President Jayee won the election, we came on board. We all supported him. The COVID hit. He was appointed for additional 3 years to serve, something that we all agreed to. his 6 years now. The 6 years are over. They have been exhausted. In August, they will be exhausted completely. So I feel very strongly that right now I'm well positioned to be his replacement. Okay, to be his replacement. The project he has started, such as the educational projects, building a school, a high school in Jayee, building now another annexation to the Toe Memorial Institute in Toe Town. All those projects, they are well deserved, but some of them are not finished yet, like the TMI project, and who is well positioned to finish the project than me. So in addition to that, apart from the school project as well, there are other projects we intend to undertake. So I feel very strongly, if I'm elected as the next president for Gbarzon District, the project that the president has not finished, we'll be able to finish the projects. We will also be able to undertake other projects. Speaking of the school projects, for example, we have the structure in place, but that's not going to be all to it. We need the teachers. The teachers in Liberia, they are underpaid. So if we have the structure in place and we do not have qualified teachers to teach in the schools, the structure themselves are going to just be, meaningless. So we need qualified teachers to teach in the schools. If we have to have qualified teachers, we'll also need to have, they also need to be paid. We got a lot of teachers that are coming from outside the district. The county as a whole to come to Gbarzon District to teach. Some are from Lofa County, Nima County coming over. If we have a teacher quota, for example, the teacher's quota will enable you guys to come. These things will encourage you guys to come and stay in Town to teach, something we don't have right now. So yes, the structures are good, but there are other things that we need to make the structure to be complete. So to answer your question, I think I'm well positioned now to be able to replace the current president to continue this project.
We will validate those positions in the long run as we progress in this conversation. So let me come home straight here. Let's see what are the Kaka here, baby. Bessie is based right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island. Thank you so much. Heavily involved in the last conventions and so. So, Madam Khan, let me ask you. You consider you agree to be the running mate to Mr. Brown? Why?
Yes.
The people, everybody full of trouble here now. Trouble in the sense that they try to get at people. They try to create intimidation from women that to participate, even they are able. Some of, not all men, they discourage people. How aware are you? Because election itself, it has the ugly side of it. How prepared are you to in this fight? Are you ready to be the vice president for Gbarzon District?
I'm fully ready, and I can say I'm strong, and I have the tough skin. And a leader, you have to be patient. So yes, I know it comes with a lot of tension, but I'm ready to be the VP to Mr. Jayee.
How long was there any conversation? Because I don't want to have a VP, and I'm not taking this conversation at the national level, a VP who would be active, who would be given responsibility to do something. Then not every time president have to show face, because potentially when the president leaves VP, the VP always steps in to take this. So it requires preparation. Do you have that conversation? Is there any assurance from Mr. Brown that if your team, the Bessie, the Brown County team wins it, Bessie will be part of this administration and not just as a ceremonial something? Do you have that kind of conversation? Has he agree with you?
Yes, Mr. Brown, we had a conversation, and I would quote from his words. He said, Betsy, you're going to be the leader of this team. You're not just going to be part as a VP, but you're going to be heading everything.
Oh, well, Napo Gary in my saying. So I gotta find a way out. So Brown, let's look at the organizations, the history of Gbarzon District Association. Where is the convention going again? In the Midwest there, right? Which city?
Yeah, North Dakota.
North Dakota. Is there any home advantage? You are in Minnesota. He's in North Dakota. I don't know what's the distance there. But what's your lesson learned the last time around? Your campaign, it was aggressive. And I quite agree with you. The election was quite exciting, the intense, everybody, the momentum and all of that. Was there a lesson learned the last time then that you know getting into this process now that hopefully everything gonna be okay?
That's a good question. The last time when we got in the race, we were not well known on the scene as far as Gbarzon district is concerned. We were just little known. We campaigned around this. We started a campaign around this time of the year, and we started building momentum. We had the youth on our side, and the youth propelled us to a near victory. The lesson learned was that, especially in these kind of elections, you want to build a coalition, not just young people, but the elderly, and making sure that your message actually resonates with the people, something we did in 2017. I'm not going to give excuses here for this upcoming election. I know the COVID-19, completely disoriented everybody, and the process is kind of a little bit strange to us again, having been away for 6 years. So I consider the election to be a special election that are coming right now, and the momentum is not there as it was in 2017. But we'll try our best to get our message to the people. I'm sure if we do that, the momentum again is going to be on our side. But the lesson learned was that we did everything we could, but at the end, we lost a little bit of focus and concentration. This time around, we want to maintain our focus. We want to maintain our concentration, not losing sight of exactly what our intention is. Something we did in Rhode Island. This time around, we are not going to do that. We are not going to lose sight of what our actual goal is.
This is quite interesting. Saying the real, true, towards the true confessions or true, honest conversation. Yeah, that's what we bringing here. You say you lose sight of your focus. What was that?
If you look at if you look at how we lost the election, it was kind of, it was heartbreaking.
You thought you had it all sealed up, everything was done, and did not put time to the finishing point.
Exactly. We were being congratulated, everybody was congratulating, everything was fine, and we thought we were done with everything, and then just the last second, everything changed. Everything changed. So I think
I was not excited. That's quite interesting because I was there and I saw it, and the whole car just flip around.
Yeah, so they like you have victory in your hand, and we have our powder. We're just about to be powder, and
all the doors went in the air.
That's our powder bottle, everything left in the bag. So this time around, we'll be extra vigilant,
Minnesota or
So I think we'll be extra focused this time. Things will be fine with us this time. That's our hope.
Okay. Let me break in, Madam Khan here. Look, Madam Khan, what specific role would you like to play? We have talented ladies, as time go by, people got to leave the stage. We were there, we did our part. I don't know why Brown said he was trained, because when I was president, he's headed as very viable committees and very active within the Minnesota chapter. Then Ziampur was the coordinator. That was 2019, that convention in Minnesota. And he was heavily involved. But anyway, things happen down the road. But let me come to you. What specific role, what are you bringing to the table to help Mr. Brown in this whole Gbarzon district here? What specifically you would like to do as well, not just only as vice president? Maybe, I want to take charge of this here. I want to be head of this here, so that I can be able to help your administration so that we can all work together. Is there a specific thing in mind that you want to do if you are elected president? Maybe if Brown is elected, to say, you know what, I want to be responsible for this, right? Anything in mind for you think?
Well, as a woman, you know, we have power. And being the VP to him, I will give him all the support. And as the VP, I will try to bring all the women on board and try to undertake a project as women of Gbarzon district that people will see, that will be identified by the international community to say, yes, this is what the women of Gbarzon district are doing. So yes, I'm not going to be sitting there, but to do my best and to bring all that I can to the table to make Gbarzon district, Diaspora Gbarzon District Association, one of the best association in America.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Let's look at your agenda. I know you content, which is a very good one here, because the tendency of people coming and then scratch out whoever they're going to succeed, I don't think is a good strategy. But I know you have something on your sleeves for which you are also contesting for this for the national leadership. Let's look at your book. What are you bringing? What specifically are you bringing to put forward to the people of Gbarzon district as an agenda? You say you're going to be talking to the people, so you're going to tell it. You're going to be telling us what specific you can do. What do you have? You're going to be offering, Mr. Brown. Are you there, Mr. Brown?
Yeah, I'm here. The question is the question for me.
Yeah, the question is, what specific change or what specific agenda are you bringing to the table for which you are eager and you want to be the president of this district? Is there any
sorry about that. Okay, I thought you were still referring to the vice presidential candidate. Yeah, thank you, Mr. So.
Well,
you know, administration is.
You want to come, but I don't see you in here in the backstage here. So, did you send a link to him?
To whom?
I think I'm hearing Mr. Paul say he wants to. Please let me.
Yeah, I got a link here. I sent it to a couple of them. Let me see. Let me send it again. Yeah, but yeah, I sent him the link as well that you share with us. So I don't know if he's having trouble trying to access it.
All they need to do is to click on that link, allow access to their camera mic, and they will surface backstage. And once they get English, they will come out. That's all they need to do. All right, carry on.
Yeah. So as I was saying, administration is or government, or what is administration? Non-profit for profit is continuity. You know, continuity in a sense that an administration may not be able to finish every attempt on its agenda, and the next administration that is coming will be able to do that. And as I said earlier, the president had done extremely well undertaking educational projects, building a high school in Jayee, trying to also create another annexation to the Toll Memorial Institute, something for which we are collecting money now. The president has from now to August to leave office. So you can see that most of the projects will still be outstanding. So part of the agenda we have here is to continue this project. We don't want to have projects unfinished, and then we start another ambitious project. We don't want to do that. That doesn't mean we are not going to have our own projects. We also have projects. I talk about trying to build a teacher's quarter, something like that, something that is very important. This is going to attract teachers from elsewhere, qualified teachers from elsewhere who are not living in the country to come and stay in Total and teach. You can have qualified teachers, but they need to be motivated. And one way to motivate the teachers is to also pay them. Right now, most of the teachers are not being paid well. Some of them are making like $20 a month. So imagine someone who are going to school with degrees and they are teaching sciences, maths, and English, and they are being paid something like $20 a month. This is something that is not going to motivate teachers. So if we have the structure in play, another thing we could do is to also have a system in place whereby we can compensate these teachers. So other projects we intend to also undertake will be, I have visited Liberia. Let me point this out to our listeners. I have visited Liberia more than 4 times now. Last year, I went there twice. This year I went there once, and for each time I go to Liberia, I don't stay in Monrovia. I go as far as Town. I spend like a month, or weeks in Town before leaving, coming back. So I have seen close up exactly what our people need. One of the things that I saw when I went there recently was that the youth in the Gbarzon district area, they are struggling. Something that is lacking in that district is a stadium, a soccer stadium. They need a soccer stadium. Imagine Grand Gita now or Gbarzon district is playing district leagues. We have players that are even going for county leagues and all these things. And we as a district, we do not have a stadium. It's something that we as an administration, if we take over, we will consider undertaking such a project. I can't tell you for sure which town or which city this stadium will be built. We cannot impose it on the people. They can decide for themselves and say, okay, we want to build it in Zlatan, we want to build it in Town, or even Port Town, or even in Jayee, because they will be affected directly by this project. Another thing we intend to undertake too is that, food security, agricultural activities. Our people are hungry. When I went to Town, imagine people in Town are going as far as Africa to buy pepper. Pepper, are you kidding me? We have a very good forest. You can close your eyes and throw any seed, it will grow anywhere, no matter where it falls. And our people are not even planting pepper or cassava. They have to go as far as Africa Coast.
Do you send a link to Bobby? Bobby, they have to send. I send it, Gbarzon. I don't even have your email address. If you can put it on the screen, I can send that to you. But I send.
Bobby email address is okay. I got it. esop444@gmail.com. Okay, esop444@gmail.com. I got it. Okay.
Bobby, can you please write? Or you want to forward? You have the capacity to forward?
I will forward to you, so I will forward to you.
No, just send it to him.
Bobby.
Okay.
Just send it
to Bobby.
Send it to Bobby. That he will.
Okay, I will send it to him now.
Okay.
E-S-A-U-E-S-A-U-B-O-U.
Okay, so because are the Esau from the Bible or Esau from Des Moines? Okay, so Bobby just got to hang out. You're waiting.
Yeah, I just sent it to him now. Let him check his email.
Okay, you need to check your email. Okay, yeah, carry on.
So as I was saying, these projects, food security is very important. If the people cannot feed, itself is a serious problem. And that's one of the things that I saw when I visited Town recently. So people going to the Africa buying pepper, it should not happen. Okay, the people are willing to work, not that they are lazy, but they do not have the resources, they do not have the means. This is something we can help with them and guide them through the process, at least to be able to provide food for themselves. You see, so these are some of the projects we intend to undertake. Number one, continue the educational project the president is undertaking, trying to at least build a stadium in the district that will help the youth, and also create, other opportunities, for our youth in the community as well.
Is that a sort of priority? Is that something you heard from the young generation when you went? We don't have like a stadium here. Is that priority?
I would say, because right now in Liberia, especially like Monrovia, Grand Gita, and other places, the youth, most of them have nothing to do. The youth unemployment rate is very, very high, and one of the things that is helping the youth, to stay out of crime is soccer, and we have a lot of young people in Grand Gita, in Gbarzon district. So some of them, when they came to me, they said, we are the affected youth of Gbarzon. We are the affected youth of Gbarzon district. They were just telling me. Another guy who has been helping the youth here too, I should mention, is Son Jayee. Son Jayee has his own football club in Town area there, and these guys are going to places like Sino, other parts of Grand Gita. They are actively involved in tournaments. And some of the youth, they were able to tell me that, one thing they need in that district is a sports stadium. And I totally agree with them. So we are working closely with people like Son Jayee, to see how best, they can guide us through the process as to what we need to do to build a sports stadium in that district. Okay. So yeah, it's a priority too.
Okay, let me bring in Bessie here, Madam Kanta. You listen to Mr. Jayee outlining his point, and there's nothing that comes so easily without having the other side, or the woman here. Now, with that said, how will you intend to set that sort of message as well? What will be the woman role if outlining some of these things here? What will be your role in making sure that is done as well? Because bulk of it, the financial aspect, that's a huge one. We don't know here. That's what the administration is considering. We don't know how much you're going to cost, and all of that. That is considering. That's not something you just going to do, but you're going to work with local leaders. Is that something you, as a woman, you as a mother, is that something you will support the president of doing?
100%. 100%. So his point, as he said earlier, the youth in the district, I mean, they just common English wasting, doing nothing. And I mean, with sports, it gave them the opportunity to socialize with other people. It brings joy to them. And I mean, like the crime rate now all over the world is high. Kids are on drugs, doing things out of the way. But if they have something to look up to, it would be a great thing. And in that direction, yes, as women, as I said earlier, we have the power, and I will support him fully. If we have to do some fundraiser, if we have to apply for grant, I mean, we can do that and make that happen in the district.
Okay. Mr. Poor, what is that? LPRC. If you're listening to something, you need to turn it off, because other than that, we're going to be getting the echo, and I think that's what is happening. Are you listening to the program, Bobby?
I don't think he's hearing.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. What is that? LPR?
I'm here. I'm hearing him.
Yeah. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you, but it's not clear.
Then are you? Is that Booms Mobile you're using, or Cricket? Because everybody we hear everybody.
I'm using T-Mobile, Mama.
T-Mobile. Okay, I think I
I'm using T-Mobile. Been with them for 10 years, Mama.
Okay. Maybe you need to. Okay. Let me bring you in here. You got to focus here. I don't know who else is getting your background. You got to face your camera, so we'll see you. Okay. Yeah, that's not be the party here. Okay, so let's have it. Let's tell us here the campaign election. It is not over, and you, like you alluded, you learned a lesson from the last elections. Everybody, there's always going to be a slip. How is the process going? I believe the process is officially open, right? The campaign process.
Yes.
Open.
Yes.
Yeah. How is it going from your campaign side? How do you feel so far with the process playing out? Brown.
Oh, I thought you're speaking to Bobby.
No, Bobby disappeared a long time.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the election, we had a meeting on, I think on the 11th, if I'm not making either on the 11th or the 10th, something like that. And we were told by the election commission that we were free now to run our campaign as of the 12th of this month. So yeah, but as far as the campaign is concerned, as I said, after 6 years, and then we have almost like 3 years of COVID, the momentum is not there. So we have to create the momentum in the people. We've been placing phone calls here and there. So gradually, based on our message, I think the people, they are getting to be to develop more interest again. We are trying our best.
Bobby, hold on 1 second. Bobby, you need to control your stuff, or you will just have to take you out. No other, we're getting too much. Are you listening to something there? Bobby Poor.
Hello?
Yeah. Are you listening to the program from the end? Yeah. Okay. We're getting you clear now. Hopefully you don't have other device there. You see. Well, we can't be interrupting the conversation. Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, so the campaigning process is going smoothly. Yeah, it's going smoothly, except that we just feel that it's a little bit slower on the side of the election commission with respect to how soon, how fast they come up with information. But as of the 12th of this month, we were told we could start running campaign. We've been calling, people from everywhere to let them know that we are having election in North Dakota, and people are kind of a little bit, they are very receptive to our message. So everything is fine. Everything is fine.
Hold on 1 second, Bobby. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you
I think
have
somebody's
Hello, I'm hearing you.
No, yeah,
I
hold on
think
first.
he mute himself when he's
You have to
talking.
decide when you come here because we take seriously what we do here. I don't know who else in the background there. You got to be into a quiet place, people listening, so that we'll understand what we're doing. So hopefully, whoever listening there, they just got to be, if they are participating,
Okay.
is the part we need to know. So yeah, and just make sure that you don't have any other device because it brings in the echo. You're going to come right back in the system, and the whole sound will be kind of like something. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
So the elections details of the electoral process, everything out already or not?
Yeah. Everything is posted in the Gbarzon district chat room. Is where every communication is posted. And for some reason, if we find it difficult to upload the information, they will send it to our respective email addresses. Yeah. But the whole process, every information is in the chat room. The guidelines are already published.
Yeah, I'll try to go back there and see it. Okay, this guy, Bobby Paul, where are you? Where are you now? Where are you based?
Well, I'm right now residing in Iowa, Des Moines.
Des Moines.
As I speak to you right now, I'm 4028 Hubble Avenue.
So why you put Des Moines there? You're writing LPR.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. So are you part of Mr. Brown campaign? Are you part of Mr. Brown?
I'm the campaign chairman. I am the campaign chairman for Brown Jayee and the VP, incoming VP. So I'm the campaign chairman for them.
So you're not a small potato in the thing here.
Yeah.
Okay. So so what are you doing right now? You as a campaign chairman, what can you tell us? What is the campaign doing right now? The election is what? The convention is that August, right? What's the date again?
August 19.
August 19.
August 18, 19, the 20th.
20 will be the what? The election is that on the Sunday or Saturday? Sunday. So how far are you going with your? What can you tell us? I know you can mobilize, but how far are you gone? What is the status of this campaign here? What can you tell us?
Well, right now, campaign is not started yet, but right now what we're doing, we're just doing on-the-ground mobilizing. And Mr. So, you know me, when this stuff I'm in it, I put my whole interest in it, put everything into it. That's the kind of person I am. When I say for you, anything, when even you go in the hole, I'm there with you. That's the kind of person I am. So right now, for this trip, I think it's 100%. We are going to win this election, but we are just making people, getting people aware of the whole thing. It's not campaign time yet, so we don't start the campaign yet, but we are mobilizing now. Okay.
If the presidential Sunday, I will fire you on live screen just what Donald Trump did to he went to train people in California.
It's a point of correction. It's campaign time now, Bobby.
Campaign chairman, you said not campaign time. My son, they are like, you see that why? Oh my goodness. Oh, the device is having issue here. Okay, so let me just get in. Okay, you gotta find something. I think that not always happening. I don't know what's the issue. So, Bessa, you live in Rhode Island in the East Coast here, and that is quite far from where the real action gonna be. And at the end of the day, in order for you to be the vice president of this chapter, the numbers has to be there. And in most cases, the reason why somebody pick people who were up to that vote potentially. So what is the preparation from yours end to add up to what Mr. Jayee is doing in making sure you get the required numbers to win this process?
Okay, so campaign already started. I spoke to my coordinator the other day, and we're going to start voter registration door to door. Encourage whoever can fly from here to North Dakota to please do so. And also trying to communicate with people in North Dakota to get every Gbarzonian in there to register.
That's a tough one. Are you aware what you are getting into is a tedious time taking away and everything? Bobby, when you get better device and you can come here, I'm sure this not going to be the last program that you guys going to be here. Yeah, like I said, are you so also aware that it's a time consuming thing that you're going to form part of?
Sure, 100%. I know what I'm getting into and what my responsibility are. And
Okay, I don't want you to reveal all your strategy here, but what's about your home state here? Are they assure you that they will be part of the process event at the end of the day in North or South Dakota? Where is the convention? North Dakota.
Yes, New England chapter, as my boss has said earlier, he came down here before 2017, and we have people already that are willing to go with us to North Dakota.
North Dakota. Okay, Brian, let's come to you. What is the guarantee? Because I always, Gbarzon District is not a strange organization, and I do also appreciate your support. To me, when I was a sitting president of this chapter, I mean, a chapter of the union, but accountability has become a challenge with national organization. Susanna,
Yeah.
are you laying down or are you sitting up? They know where we don't do that. The way you do yourself today,
I'm sitting down.
because I also said it today, Father Day, I don't want to be laying down, but I sitting down straight and you.
I'm
They,
sitting down.
they,
Bottom
are-
sitting by.
they are white horse here will not be easy. Okay, so good evening. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay.
After listening to you.
Okay, so all right. So I'm going to be coming. I think I was asking Brian. I'm going to be coming to you, but let Susanna introduce herself. Susanna, are you part of the leadership, elected leadership? Are you on the ticket with Mr. Jayee Brown?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, what your role? Which position are you vying for?
Not Champlain.
Chaplain. You going to be praying for all?
Yes.
You praying for any church now?
Yes. Just wanted go.
Okay, I love that. I love that. God is one God. Okay, so all right.
Church in Lutheran.
Oh, you're in Lutheran Church. All right. Okay, it doesn't matter. That's God is one. But I thank you so much.
No one.
When you pray good for good things to happen to this organization, or you just want to be praying for Brian Jayee to win and not the other person to win, how your prayer gonna be like?
I'm bad. You swallow your where I opportunity check. They are brief. They are administrative. They are counted. As in your way are there.
I love the passion that you bring. I thought these people, I thought nobody even want make mistake to speak their own that are here. Maybe the thing they're going to be here, but I love the passion that you bring. And what she's simply saying that she's going to not just only, even though she's on brown ticket, but going to pray for the opponent because she wants something good to happen. Hallelujah.
Amen.
If anything, maybe I'll be the assistant chaplain to you, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming. Well, let me just come to you. Accountability, and you to the VP. Hopefully, we'll have the time to speak to the treasurer, to speak to the secretary. And one of the things that I've admired, if there's any other thing for me to have problem, but one of the things that I admire with this current administration, the current secretary, Jayee, a young person, he is very spontaneous in terms of getting information out there. These are volunteering organizations. People know it fully well, they are aware. Okay, so let me just ask you, I don't want to draw a conclusion. Are you coming to this in order for us, we the Gbarzon district people, to pay you and your staff at the end of every month or every other week you will take pay here?
No, I mean, this no, not at all, Mr. So, not at all. We know this is a community-oriented organization, even though it's a non-profit organization, but the revenues of this organization are generated purely from the membership. I stand to be corrected, but I have no knowledge if, in fact, this organization had ever written a grant, to like soliciting funds from outsiders, from other organizations. For example, like the schools we are constructing now, the one that was built in Jayee, the one that is ongoing now in Town. I don't know if we have any, grant out there to say, okay, this is the project. The project is going to cost maybe 90,000, and we are asking for funding of 50,000 or maybe 60,000, something like that. I have no knowledge of that. Again, as I said, I stand to be corrected. So wholly and solely, every project we have within this organization is funded by the membership, and we know how our people are struggling. Some people are working 2-3 jobs to be able to make ends meet in this country, but they love Gbarzon district so much to the extent that if we say we are collecting this amount of money, for this project, they are there to do it. And this is something we are coming to, being mindful of the fact that it is a voluntary service that we are here to render to our people. We are not going to ask our people to pay us. It has never happened in the history of the organization. You serve this organization with distinction. You know what I'm talking about. You were never paid, you and your team. It was purely, something sacrificial that you did. And before you left, David Banto came when the organization was completely, divided. He came, he served for about 4 years in the interim. And what happened? He never got any cent. The current president, Mr. Dennis, who has spent almost 6 years now, it is the same. This man, we've traveled together, going to North Dakota, going to South Dakota, paying, his own hotel, buying his own gas. And sometimes people, out of goodwill, they will raise funds and say, Mr. President, you travel from as far as Philadelphia, coming here. This is a kind gesture, that we are giving to you to be able to buy your own gas to go back. So this president is not paid, his team is not paid. It is the same thing that we intend to do. We are not going to play around the money of our people. We will ensure that if we get elected, our administration is going to be one of the most transparent organizations, in this country, as far as community organizations are concerned. We will make sure we are accountable for everything we do. And one thing I should point out is that one of the problems we have right now with this organization is the issue of constitution. The constitution is good, it's very simple to understand, but it does not give enough power to the board of directors. For example, the constitution says that the president and his team, they can make their own budget, they can formulate their own budget. And the same people that formulate their own budget, they can approve their own budget. Okay, where in the world have you seen that? Where in the executive committee, comprised of the president, will make their own budget, make their own project, and the same people will have to sit, deliberate, and approve their own budget. If they want, they can show the budget to the board and say, board, this is the project, this is the money we have. but we are not asking you for your approval, just for your acknowledgement if they want. I think that's a fundamental flaw, you know, for any organization to run that way, wherein the board does not have power to approve budget or to approve projects. I think we should give the power to the board to do that. So when you asked earlier, if we went, yeah,
this seems to be a kind of a little bit strange. That was the case, and you know, sometimes when you leave the stage, you give way for people to also to play their part. And when you are called in, then you do that because you don't want to be a sort of a leader who intrudes. You can form part of a community, but if that is the case, and I hope to see that, then that's something I just do not agree with because it does not provide that transparency as it should be. You the commissioner, you the referee. So I want you to face that camera because I want to get you on record here.
Yeah.
If you are elected, is that something you want to revisit for constitution? And constitutions is liable for amendment. And that's something that happened. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's something you are spotted. And I think it's a valid point. If it does really inscribe if it is in that constitution, meaning is that something hands-on you're going to work on to change?
Thank you so much. I want to be on record. When I lost the election to now President Dennis in Rhode Island, I came for his inauguration in Philadelphia. I was there and I decided to serve on the board. I was elected to serve on the board of directors as the Secretary General. I served for almost like a year. And then when I saw that loophole, you know, I said, no. If that is the case, it doesn't serve any purpose to serve on the board. It doesn't even serve any purpose to have the board because anything that has to do with money in any organization is very, very important. It's very critical. So if the board does not have the power to approve budgets, then I don't think I'll be on the board anymore. It was how I left the board. But to the president credit, he set up a committee to review and revise the Constitution. And the Constitution Review Committee, I was the chairman. We worked for about 6 months going through the entire Constitution. We made a lot of changes. And one of the areas we talked about or we proposed that should be changed was that area. In fact, we said the president should not even be a signatory to the organization account. The only people the Constitution, the Gbarzon District Constitution provides to be signatory to the organization account, the president, the secretary, and the treasurer. The board chair is not even a signatory. You see what I'm saying? So we proposed those changes to be made. And then we had another convention in Iowa, in Des Moines, Iowa, where the Constitution was debated. We put before them all these changes that we proposed. And the people of Gbarzon District said, no, the Constitution should remain the same. So to answer your question, when we take over, my number one priority will be these flaws within the Constitution will be changed because this gave the executive committee, no matter who is the president, gives them the leeway to do anything they want to do with respect to finances. And one of the qualities of the leadership is what? Of the leader is to be accountable and be transparent. Okay, but if we can come, make our own budget, approve our own budget, and the board is not in the loop, that's a major fundamental flaw. So this is something I think if I take over, I will definitely change. And let me go by extension. I am not going to be a signatory to the organization account. Okay, whether the Constitution is changed or not, I promise the people of Gbarzon District, if we win this election, whoever is the board of director will be a signatory to the organization account, of course, the treasurer, and then the board of director. I don't even think the secretary should be a signatory to the organization account. It should be the board of directors, the treasurer, those two people. The president.
Why you're talking about a secretary? You're talking about board of directors. Why the board of directors? So hold on 1 second here. This is a teamwork here, especially at number 2. Sue, if you want to say something, that's okay. But I know your major work here is to pray for I'm on convention with I'm at to make sure there's peace and stuff like that, right? But Bessie, let me just bring you in here. You're listening extensively to your presidential experiment. Do you agree with him, or do you have a different version of what you're saying? And I don't think anything wrong with that. These are conversations we should be be having in order to make our organizations and for us or everybody to be held accountable. Do you agree with that? You agree with what he said?
100%. Yes.
Okay. So another thing here, look, I know this are pro bono job, and this is what kills organizations. I am not in support of why organizations can, and this is where corruptions and financial improprieties come in. All of these organizations in the country, they raise tons of money. We get money, we send it up. Yes, I understand we need to support our people, but everybody working from paycheck to paycheck.
Correct.
So one money is a costly money that, yes, because I want to be president, even though I went through that, but I don't think because everybody went through it, so it should be that sort of pattern. Life, time has involved significantly. We raise money, 18,000, 20,000, 30,000. Why not there is a budget for administration? Even if it is 5,000, even if it is 6,000, that's certain amount for administration functioning. You go to programs, they send letter to you. They call you to speak. If people want to call you, that's speaking there, that money behind it. But I think there must be certain allotment that the administration should be allowed to use for traveling purposes. Nobody get a car here. You get in a car in this place here when you go now, you're going to be using. I don't think so. And it's wrong because when people start doing that, then that's where these sort of little things come into play. So I think it is time, not just only Gbarzon district alone, all organizations, they go to convention. People must be compensated with their expertise. You can't say, oh, because you're a president, so he 1 or 2 weeks pay, you want to buy plane ticket and go. Because you want to do pro bono job. That's not something. I'm not going to see myself doing that. If I'm doing something, I must be accountable. Because when we keep doing that, what happens the day he doesn't have it, or the day she doesn't have it? I don't think it's not fair. None of the organization don't have money. You go to convention, raise thousands of dollars, 20,000. How many we got here? 30,000. I think Rhode Island. How much was that again?
28,000.
8,000. Right, annually. And you want to tell me 8,000 cannot be allotted for administration? All you do, you must give an account at the end of the day. Not just gonna because there you're gonna be using it, But I mean, that's my view, that's my opinion, and that's something we need to do because when we pay you, not really pay, when we compensate you, then you know what you are doing to it adds value to that. But those are other things that we're going to be talking about. Let me ask you this question. And this is something people feel uncomfortable with. And I have to answer it. And sometimes they see it as to be a bad thing. The name core audit is almost like a taboo. But it simply means if I'm a president, I am leaving, and Brian is coming in. Brian wants to double check my records just to make sure what he's taking, where he's starting from, and where when he leaves, where he's going to end. So will you, if elected as president, will you try to take a look of the financial records of the association as well from the previous administration? Because sometimes when people use audit, it sounds like horrible. You're not. It's not a matter of stealing. It's just a matter of making sure that things in order. So if I mean 5,000 or 2,000 into the account, let me know what I'm meeting and how I'm going to proceed to ask member to say, hey, this is where we are now, and this is what we need to be doing. Is that something you're going to do, or you not want to bother with that?
That's a very good question. It's not just a good question, but sometimes when people hear the word audit, they kind of look at the negative connotation of it. The negative meaning, that's what they look at. It's like, okay, the person has stolen money, and that's why they want to audit the person. People need to be educated to the fact that any organization, for that matter, that doesn't do audit or auditing, what happens is that if you try to apply for grant, apply for money to major agency, the first thing they look is that they want to see your financial records before they can even trust you with money. And the reason they want to see your financial records is, number one, are you responsible with money? How have you been using money? Okay. They want to make sure that they are giving their money to the right organization and that the money is not going to be misappropriated. If this organization has a history of mismanagement, okay, misappropriation, they will not give it to you. Not all donors will ask you to look at your financial records, but in most cases, it will be done. Another reason why people do auditing too is that you are not witch hunting anybody. It doesn't mean somebody stole money, but to instill accountability, transparency, and credibility in your own organization. That's why people do it. But the moment people begin to hear the word audit, oh, they're accusing this man, they're accusing the administration of stealing money. In fact, when we do audit, we are not auditing the individual. It is the organization that we are auditing. The individual is not the organization. Okay, it's not the organization. So, for example, now President Dennis is the president. Jerome Paul is the president of Gbarzon district. If we intend to say, okay, they are leaving office, we want to audit the administration, we are not auditing President Dennis. We are not auditing the VP. We are not auditing the secretary. We are not auditing the treasurer. It is the administration. It is the administration. So, to answer your question, this organization has been in existence since I think 1990, if I'm correct, Mr. President, since 1990. So if we are looking at 1990 up to this time, we are talking about something like 33 years, correct? The question we should ask ourselves first of all is that, has the organization been audited? When you were in office for about 4 years, when you left, did anybody audit you?
No.
No. Okay. And I think, in my opinion, it should have been done. When Banto took over and he was leaving, did anybody audit him? Or did anybody audit the administration? Nobody. So auditing an administration or the outgoing administration will be a good thing so that we know exactly where we are starting from, especially for now, like the Gbarzon District Association, we've undertaken so many projects. Okay, we've had so many conventions, we've undertaken so many projects. Some of the projects are still pending. They are not even over yet. So if we are taking over, for example, it's something that we will look at very closely if there's a need to audit the administration. Okay, to audit the administration so that we know exactly where we are starting from, so that we know exactly where we are going and where this organization has come from. I think anyone, the administration especially, they should be, if we decide to do that, that should be a welcome development for them. That should be a welcome development.
Yeah, and I agree with you.
Pardon?
No, I say I agree with you, and that's because I don't think we should not be running institutions like we're running our own individual thing.
Yeah.
And it's not meant, like you rightfully said, to kind of like target people, but all of these things, what we are doing, we leave from here eventually, and we seek for good offices and stuff like that. And that's the same thing. And when we're leaving, we make sure we turn all financial records. It left with the incoming to say, hey, we need to check this. From the day one of the bank statement to the incoming switch account, turn all financial record, bank statements, and everything. Most we did that, and I think that's how it should be.
Yeah.
If anybody have any apprehension, it's not like, oh, if I ask a man, it's not about people feeling bad. It's not about people feeling bad. It's about making the institution to survive, to uphold the institutions. Exactly. The Constitution say. So I'm just making sure, because hopefully we're gonna, whoever contesting, I think Mr. Tabla, Peter Tabla, I believe is one of the other. How many persons in the race so far? Do you know?
So far, we don't know so much. We've heard Peter Tabla is contesting. We heard that. We've seen the registration slip for him and his team. So I think so far that's the only name we are hearing. Mr. Peter Tabla.
And hopefully we're going to bring them here too. Hopefully they can reach out, and I really appreciate to reach out, because we want to give everybody the opportunities. Bessie, Madam Khan, do you in a call with what Mr. Brown is saying?
Yes.
Is it a bad thing? Because people quick to feel bad. You can only feel bad when something of your personal self, but institutions, organizations, principles must be heard. But before you respond, quickly, let's want you guys to have, we've been here for a little while, you can have a glass of water. So let's take a break. And for those of you from the Tigers Wars of BWR, watch what is coming out in Newcastle. We'll be right back.
the social media. It's the Booker Washington Institute National Alumni Association of North America presenting to you 2023 National Convention in Newcastle, Delaware. Hey, the Tigers weekend long reunion will begin on Friday, June 30th, and from 8 a.m. straight up to 8 p.m. will be arrival of guests, registration, and hotel accommodation. Then 7 p.m. until 12 midnight will be the Tigers night out and Queen contest. Admission will be $20 only. Saturday, July 1st will begin with a General Assembly beginning at 9:30 a.m. straight up to 3 p.m. And that will be followed by the banquet and ball. Those open at 7 p.m. Address is 24 Blaine Vines Drive in Newcastle, Delaware. Convention package for members is $150, while the ordinary will pay only $50. And to our sweet and loving kind sponsors, we'll pay $100 only. And then comes Sunday, July 2nd, is the farewell cookout. This is when fellow Tiger gets to say goodbye to a Tiger. And ladies and gentlemen, the cookout address is 156 Boyer Drive in Newark, Delaware. For more information, please contact Charles Babu 267-240-5487, Jacqueline Bush 678-410-7223, Carlo Miller 619-793-7941, Gentleman Hassan Tor 609-280-9051. Please don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this year's convention will be hosted by the Delaware Valley Chapter BWR. Come on, and let's jam the weekend away.
Okay, that's the Tigers of BWR, Booker Washington Institute. And guess what? Liberia Public Radio will be on hand to bring you live coverage of live images from Newcastle, Delaware. That's the 30th. Yeah, BWR is a great institution. In fact, we're going to be having an organizing committee here this Wednesday. What this convention is all about and what do they hope to achieve. That's the beauty of this network. We don't just only say we want to talk to senator, representative, but we want to talk to our community leaders. Back to the talking point here. We hope to be having this here. What happens if LPR organize a debate with the two candidates or qualified candidates, Brian Jayee, the vice presidential or presidential candidate? Are you prepared to face the microphone, the camera of LPR if that were to be put in place?
Oh, absolutely. We will use the forum to speak to our people. And I think we'll be grateful to you for doing that, because LPR is watched internationally. People in our audience in Liberia will be able to see it across the world. They will be able to see it as we articulate what we intend to do for the district and the people, our people here in the United States. So I think that will be a welcome development.
Yeah, and interestingly, besides Sky, another sister network has reached out, and we will soon start live broadcast. The first edition will get on the way on the 1st of July, because you people want to hold you accountable. I never know. Maybe after this thing here, Bessie will want to be representative for Gbarzon District, want to be senator for Grand GDAA. Brian Jayee want to be representative, want to be senator for Grand GDAA, and who knows, president. So we want to start holding little documentary. The good thing, this one here, I am the only person, other administrators can delete this one here. So you can delete it. So anything you say now, I will keep it, I will keep it for a lifetime. Okay, so transparency. So Madam Vice Presidential Aspirant, let me come to you. In what instance, or what do you think at some point in time you would disagree with your president? Is something not right? Will you ever disagree with him, or everything you're going to go with him?
Not at all. I would disagree with him when he's doing something wrong as my president, and I'm not in support of it. I'm going to tell him, and When we can't iron it out, then we have to come in public, and I would disagree because it's my character and I have to protect that. I'm not just going to be a yes sir person. No.
Brian, you ain't it? You agree with
Yeah,
her?
when I approached her first, to serve as my VP, she said, on one condition. Number one, I'm not going to be a VP like a vehicle that is parked in a garage. So if that is what you intend to do, then just leave me out now. And that's why you said, Miss Khan, right?
Yes.
And I promised her, I said, listen, my leadership is going to be inclusive. It's going to be consultative. It's going to be a servant leadership. And I think I believe very strongly you will be the best person to work with me. And I will empower you to do most of the work, because our women in this community, they've been overlooked for far too long. We just feel that they are limited. They are not limited. The only time we need them is when we want money out of them. People who contribute mostly to these community organizations we have in the United States are the women. And if the women are working so hard to contribute to these organizations and to our projects, why don't we give them a major role to play in the organization? They can't just be in the background, to support us, but we should also give them the full. Let's create a platform for them. To us, they have a lot of skills. Women are leaders in our community. We've seen it across the globe. Okay, we've seen it across the globe. Women, let us empower our women and see what they can do. And I think Bessie Kind, you asked her earlier with respect to what she brings to the table. She was humble. She was, she was very well, measured in how she talked about herself. But I've been knowing Bessie Kind since when? 1980s what? 1986, 87. I've been knowing her, not somebody that I just picked to come and work with me. So I have respect for her. I know her. I know her entire family. Before even the Gbarzon district team, we have mutual respect for one another. She's hardworking. She has the respect of the people of Gbarzon district, the old and the young. And if you see her mobilizing when we were contesting in Rhode Island, she was one of those who mobilized for us. She mobilized for us. So Bessie Khan is not a stranger if it comes to Gbarzon district. I'm not doubting her that she can do the work in my absence, even in my presence. I will delegate responsibility to her that will make her to be relevant. Okay, she's not just going to sit down as a VP, a ceremonial VP, but she will be a VP that will be active and she will have tasks to perform. And that's what I told her. And we'll make sure we follow through with that if we win.
Okay. Be speaking of BB Bowl. I know Bessie. Get why you say when you on your own. You have VP, so you have that's where you want to perform. And what would be example, Bessie? No, on a serious note, because we need to have this conversation in the openness, so that people can, because we hold national government responsible of corruption, of this not happening, that not happening. But this very thing we turn around and we do it right here. But because we say we are not in government, tell me, you're not in government, you're doing it to yourself. Where you get in government, somebody man gonna be asking you to go for lunch, business people coming to you and all of that. Then you end up being like a vampire on the state to do stuff here. What would be an example, Madam Khan, that you think when you disagree with the president, you will speak out?
Okay. For example, like as leader, we're going to have leadership meeting. And again, we're going to be having projects and like convention when people raise their money. I'm not going to be the one to go in the corner and say, oh, Bessie, can we just take this amount without everybody knowing about it? No, there should be a written document. And there should be a reason why the money was taken. So in that case, I'm not going to be part of that. If you just want to do a two-man project, no. The organization need to know about it.
Okay, guys, what a great conversation. Susanna, you want to unmute yourself? We will soon be wrapping up. We're going to be having this conversation from Susanna. You want to loosen your mic? Are you hearing us, Susanna? Your mic. You got to, Bobby, I don't know why you still coming. You say campaign not started. Campaign already finished. You coming. You might not supposed to even get joy as we speak. Susanna, you want to loosen your microphone? Your mic, you close it up. Maybe.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, somebody. Okay, so yeah, I think the district we have an obligation to make sure the writing is done as well, and we critique people, we look in other people's closet. People gotta look in our closet, and I hope I've been knowing you. You work when I was president. Uh, 2019 convention was in Minnesota.
No, not 2019.
2009. 2009.
2009. I don't know why. Yeah, 2009. And there was a viable, a lot of points argument were put on the floor, and the people, for some reason, I'm just not sure. It's almost the same thing, but I know you guys, you with Zian Paul, were then with the coordinator. I mean, everybody worked hard, and so we're looking for people to come with new, fresh ideas to meet today's reality. When I was there, 2006, 2007, all of that, time was significantly involved. People come in, a lot of things happening. But then we were not having all of these sort of interaction that we are having now. But still, we managed to mingle with the limited resources, and we brought this whole convention thing where people thought it wasn't going to happen, but you got to be creative and it's kind of like focus and see what we're going to do. So we trust all of you that come in have the ability, including Mr. Tablo. It's just a matter of the ideas, how you're going to do yours, and different. And I would really appreciate you guys coming forward as well. Madam Khan, been actively involved, New England chapter, Grand Gbarzon district, and all of that. And I mean, it's a courage for her to step forward to be VP because we know how our people behave here. I mean, other people, they try to put other people down. And the only way you know people potential is to give them the chance to spotlight their capacity. And that's why sometimes some of people will leave, you step back and give other people chance to function. We will be wrapping up here. This is going to be a continuous conversation here. What else? What is it? What most important perhaps you want to talk about and we have not touched on yet? I mean, we're going to have low. Will you send me your agenda, your platform for subsequent conversation? Because I want to hold you on your own work, not just something you throw out here. I want it in black and white. So that when it is not done, if it's not implemented, I will come and say, hey, Brown, Madam Khan, this is what you said you're going to do. This is what you said, but you guys are doing something totally different. Will we have that? Do you think LPR are going to have access to your platforms, your agenda, your vision for Gbarzon district?
Oh yeah, Mr. So we definitely will do that. We'll definitely do that. We'll send it to you. The people of Gbarzon district, they deserve to see what our plan is and what we intend to do for them. Definitely.
Okay. Bessie?
Yep.
You agree with your president?
Yes.
Who is the treasurer on your ticket?
So our team is comprised of Alex DB. Alex DB is going to be our treasurer. Alex B has extensive record of working with nonprofit organizations. He also he has a degree in economics. He has about 10 years of teaching experience. He's been in the United States now for like 3 to 4 years. He lives in Philadelphia, so he's going to bring his wealth of experience, in running nonprofit organization, the knowledge of economics to the organization. He will help us to also raise funds, something he has been doing, before. Then, of course, the VP is here, Bessie Khan, who also has a wealth of experience with the organization. She has inside knowledge as to how the Gbarzon district organization runs. She has the support of the young people as well as the old folks. Then we have Madam Dia, Susanna Dia, who is going to be our chaplain. Currently, she's the cheerleader for the Gbarzon District Association in North Dakota, where she's well loved by the people.
They simply the convention going.
They've simply the convention going. So it was a strategic selection that we made. Then we have Otello Teleboto, who served as the secretary, Honorable Charles Poor in the Philadelphia area for the Gbarzon District Association for almost 5 to 6 years before even moving to South Dakota, where he is now. He's also active. On my 2017 campaign, he was very active. He worked so hard for us. And these are people that have real knowledge of Gbarzon District. So we are not just going around picking people because we want to pick people out of desperation, but we will strategically pick people that we believe bring something to the table.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
And to end here, you were asking if we had something that we wanted to say. I started by saying, we extend our condolences to the people of Gbarzon District, not just Gbarzon District, but Grand Judea, all those that lost loved ones to COVID. I want to commend the President Dennis, and his team for an excellent job that they did. They took over, and then 3 years later, we have the COVID. The president did not sit, idly. He was working around the clock, working hard to make sure that Gbarzon District remained relevant. And he did undertaking projects here and there, having convention here and there, So we give the administration a huge, applause for that. The president undertook some ambitious projects. Some are already finished, some are still ongoing. And those projects, as I said, if we win, we will make sure that we finish the project. We'll continue in that. We'll continue his legacy. One thing I should point out too is that no organization can flourish without unity. And part of the responsibility of a leader is to unite the people. And the president did that. Gbarzon District is one of the vibrant organizations that we have now in the United States. When you have other organizations falling apart because of other issues, Gbarzon District is still intact. And the president and his team, as I said, they did an excellent job to maintain the unity of the organization. So I should give them kudos for that.
Indirectly, are you asking or seeking for the endorsements of the president or your?
I will be more than happy to get the president's endorsement, but I mean we'll wait and see we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see.
All right, Bassett, people are listening to you here. What would be your message, your final message to those that are listening to us?
So at this time, I want to say good evening to all Gbarzonians in America. If you're watching, I'm kindly appealing to everyone to please register to vote. Please register to vote, and we encourage people out of North Dakota to please try to go for the convention. Let us go for the convention so our voice can be heard, so you can elect who you want to represent you for the next 3 years. Thank you very much for having us, Mr. Sue.
Yeah, don't go here. I want to talk to the chairlady. Chairlady, please.
Chairlady here.
Yeah, loosen that microphone there. We want to talk to you before we go. Why you who there? Can you call somebody or whoever muted? Because I don't think it's from my end.
Nothing is hard.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Ramiro.
Yeah.
You are okay. So, chairlady. Susanna, are you hearing me now?
That me talking to them, say that I'm me. Yeah, no. Hear you.
Okay. I'm at the Rupo.
No, that's all.
Okay. Okay. Monuchi already know that Kodawa.
Yeah.
Then when bad plan then yeah, the body.
Oh.
When what chaplain I'm at the bar.
Because on their own young could be annual.
Okay.
Also, teacher. Oh, calling.
No, it's from my end. Sorry.
Bloody the way in Mono, because you cannot make a site to one say and Gbarzon District be young. In see a be nelly, they Chicago, they nelly. So, in Jicala, not Dakota way, ne decree ne Gbarzon District be Grand Judea and be young, ne Caribbean, ne outlaw, So wa for the unwa la lo obladi dowe igbe apo. So the obla ya do wan ke an iro o jeje dene onu ya clean. Je ojira osu awon si krebe nu nyine. Wo jira osagbala kla we nyo edu. So ponyo so awon po gba we na jeje dene ske aje inu adere igbe an po ani omu inu ke. E kontiro.
Oh, okay. Again, what cheerleader North Dakota or to buy cheer with him, and that chaplain one, and kind of for they are well bow. Get more than power.
You want your work by say you.
I can only Gbarzon you near North Dakota and I come for you.
Ah, who for you? Gbarzon days when you're out to get clean.
So they're to look at it.
I would you we laugh for.
About 4 blank and for 1 work here, and we work one there for.
Elwa.
Okay, look, folks. You know, we got to return to baseline. You know, when we do these things and we want to serve our people, we want them to be part of what we are doing. Got to swim in that traditional way. That guys, I want to thank you so much. We'll continue to have these conversations, and I think that's the best way to go. And hopefully, just how you reach out, hopefully the other Kiam too will reach out. Yeah, he who wants it must go for it. I didn't call you people, you call us. And now we're waiting to see that happening. And I'm glad that you placed that call as well, that you wanted to tell your story. This is why we're here. And this is why even when we come here, we're having this national conversation. We are not selective. I don't have to wait for senator or representative to come here for me to have a conversation about my community, about my country, about the society, because what you are doing here, you are also paving the way for next future task. And so we must give people the opportunity to tell their narrative. I want to thank you so much, guys, for coming here. We're looking forward to having this conversation. And I'll be looking forward to get that your agenda, your vision for the district. Once it's in my hand, we can have some real critical conversation. You're just not going to be elected president without you asking or answering some tough questions. And I think you are prepared to do that. That's why you set into this year. I want to thank you guys so much for your time this evening. And by God's willing, we will have more conversations before and even after, whatever the situation is. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much. So thank you for the time.
And back around microphone was engineer and said that you more check and put it.
Don't creepy. Tao ta kru wa ma so dira wa mu je di wa mu ape wa pe lanje de klebe amu so se fo nyine. Akribe a mona ma bi we sa ya mu ra ji ya de mu pelepe.
Amen.
That's why nyine di.
Amen.
Then also we were no ajiyo mo ke o je mo di wi o ajiyo.
Ao abanyo so alo ti enyini o afu e mo.
All right. Okay, guys, thank you so much and have a pleasant evening.
Thank you so much. That's all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so let me get that. Let's go back to this commercial here, the Booker Washington Institute. I remember 1986, my former school, William V.S. taught me I would talk on BWI and the 1986 national, August 24 of those days, it used to be heavily celebrated. That was the under the presidency of the late Samuel Doe when BWI and Tutmeha, the two schools were selected to host the national exam at the grounds of the executive mansion. The late Heramo, who was our leader, may his soul rest in peace. After that splendid performance, the government of Liberia granted him a scholarship and he went to Poland where he died. But BWI, we taught them a lesson. taught me how emerged the early mornings. I remember the former principal, Madam Teresa Harris, the maroon white. It itself is a very attractive uniform, and people thought I was a U.S. Marine. That was the very first thing we neutralized, and because of that lady, it's her vision. But they are here. They're going to be having their homecoming in Newcastle, Delaware. So Library Public Radio will be on the scene to bring you live images. And the team going to be here on Wednesday in an exclusive to go inside their 30th homecoming right here in the United States. What are they doing? The Alumni Association. What is the work of the Alumni Association? And what do they intend to do? Are they still looking back to their alma mater? Let's take this break and I will be right back.
Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Facebook, Instagram, the entire line of social media is the Booker Washington Institute National Alumni Association of North America presenting to you 2023 National Convention in Newcastle, Delaware. Hey, the Tigers weekend long reunion will begin on Friday, June 30th, and from 8 a.m. straight up to 8 p.m. will be arrival of guests, registration, and hotel accommodation. Then 7 p.m. until 12 midnight will be the Tigers night out and Queen contest. A admission will be $20 only. Saturday, July 1st will begin with a General Assembly beginning at 9:30 a.m. straight up to 3 p.m. And that will be followed by the banquet and ball. Those open at 7 p.m. Address is 24 Blaine Vines Drive in Newcastle, Delaware. Convention package for members is $150, while the ordinary will pay only $50. And to our sweet and loving kind sponsors, we'll pay $100 only. And then comes Sunday, July 2nd, is the farewell cookout. This is when fellow Tiger gets to say goodbye to a Tiger. And ladies and gentlemen, the cookout address is 156 Boyer Drive in Newark, Delaware. For more information, please contact Charles Babu 267-240-5487, Jacqueline Bush 678-410-7223, Tarlo Miller 619-793-7941, Gentleman Hassan Tor 609-280-9051. Please don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this year's convention will be hosted by the Delaware Valley Chapter BWR. Come on, and let's jam the weekend away.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events, such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services and your friends in business.
Welcome to Uncle Musa Grocery, 6523 Woodland Avenue in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I'm a customer of Uncle Musa. I came here to get some things from grocery. Their things are so nice. They never get expired. They are the best quality. They have the best price ever anyone can get. They have so many things like cream, like meat, a lot of kind of meat. We have so many kind, and it's the best grocery store I've ever seen here in Woodland. They are located at the 65th and Woodland. If you want, I really appreciate you guys to come over to come and patronize with us because they sell the best quality.
Uncle Musa's Groceries on Woodland Avenue, 6523 Woodland Avenue, Philadelphia, PA. Musa's store is composed of varieties of African food as well as Americans, but predominantly African food. You have dry fish, you have cassava, you have yams, you have plantains, bananas, and Musa even goes out of his way to pay people extra to cut the potato grains for customers to save them extra time. We have deeper, we have fufu, we have the refrigeration center, then we also have cosmetics. This is a place to come in Philadelphia. If you come to Philly, you don't reach to Uncle Musa's Groceries, you have not made your trip complete. Welcome, and we look forward to seeing you sponsoring our business. Thank you.
This is Uncle Musa's store, 6523 Woodland Avenue. It's the only store, a grocery store, that deals with African stuff. Anything African thing you can get in Uncle Musa's store. I am from Igbo in Nigeria. So, ndị Igbo dum, onye ọbụla wụ onye Igbo, ya bịa na Uncle Musa's store, 6523 Woodland Avenue. Ọ ebe ọ ga-enweta anything we ihe ndị Igbo na-eri.
Welcome to Uncle Musa Grocery, 6523 Woodland Avenue in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The business, we have a business on grocery store or African food, all West African food from Liberia, mostly Liberian food. And we have a palm oil imported from Liberia, and we have a very good customer service. If a customer buy from Uncle Musa Grocery, you get bonus certain times, and things are very reasonable. We have a good palm oil. Anything you want from Africa, West Africa, you can get it from Uncle Musa Grocery. We do retail and wholesale. So you can visit, we have a couple of stores in Philadelphia. We have one on 6523 Woodland Avenue, and another one is a clothing store on 6519 Woodland Avenue. And we have another one on Upper Darby, Gary Road. So you're welcome for shopping. Everything is nice. Customer service perfect. So that's it. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Fiber Queen of Woodland. Everyone that's looking for nice African for wedding, whatever fiber you need, you can just come over here. You have all this nice stuff. If you need ashebi, you guys can come over here for baby shower, for wedding. You guys are welcome. She have really nice stuff. You can see all over there, all those men over here. You don't have to go to the theater and then they're going to be telling you all kind of stories. You can just come here. They're already made. And for ladies, you can just look for whatever fiber you're looking for and match it for the men. And, your husband already have a shirt made. You can get stuff for your kids. You can get stuff for the whole family. We have African slippers and ashobi hair ties all over. We have different kinds of lists and everything. So you guys are welcome, okay? It's really nice. It's Fiber Queen on Woodland, 9695 off of Woodland. 6625 Woodland Avenue, okay? So you guys are welcome, 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 welcome. You have nice stuff here for ladies, for men, for kids, and for everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Fabric Queen of Philadelphia. Fabric Queen of Philadelphia is 100% African-owned business. At Fabric Queen, we are specialized in high-quality wax product, Swiss lace, jewelry, and beauty products that will make you shine like the queen of fabrics. We are located at 6625 on Woodland Avenue, 10 Philadelphia. Telephone number 215-800-0228. Tell the management of Fabrics Queens in Philadelphia is easy and salt of the Liberia Public Radio gives you this message. Tell all Akwaba. Okay, well, folks, that's how we're going to be wrapping it up this evening. The Tigers of BWR, that's the Booker Washington Institute, BWR, going to be having their 30th homecoming anniversary in Newcastle, Delaware. Trust me, and Liberia Public Radio will be there as well to bring you live images. I am Alfonso Zienso, right here from the New England Bureau Desk of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. We told you here, this is a network that does not leave the community, leave you behind. We always showcase and also tell the good aspects and all of the other things that are happening within the Liberian community. Yes, while it is true we front on national government, we must hold ourselves accountable. These people who wants to be community leaders, president, chairperson, whatever it is, whether they are volunteering or not, we must also have them on record. They must give account of what they want to do. You have no idea at the end of the day, they build out these credentials and they go tomorrow. They want to be president of the Republic of Liberia. They want to be senator of Nigeria. They want to be representative of Grand Bassel. Because they add this to their credentials, which of course is a valid thing to do, but we must hold them accountable. It's 9:18 Eastern Standard Time right here from the New England Bureau. We want to thank you so much. And we said this in as much we were beg, we asked for the system. We want to do it. We don't want to get free something. Give us a contract. This guy, Uncle Musa, he's an African brother, and he's based in Philadelphia. He saw what we're doing, and he said, "Hey, can I advertise with you guys?" I can't remember how many years now, more than 4, 5, 6 years. He trusts us, and we trust him. The other lady, Fabrice from Ghana, she's Ghanaian, and I know Liberia have business. It don't necessarily have to be here. It can be even in Liberia. Just that's a way of supporting. That's a way of building people but we like these free services, and this is why you always get trash news, because you want to go places where there's only gossip, where they can entertain. Yes, entertainment is a component of news, but we take that to be least because too much of drama ongoing now. So there's a need that we keep focused to make the news fair, balanced, and proportional. LPR is a full-fledged registered media outlet with the local, state, and federally accredited as a 501c3 media outlet. The same in the Republic of Liberia. So we just not just want to take phone or something yet. These are high capacity software, high capacity internet output in order to give you something of a quality. Yes. So we need your support. And very few. I want to say a big thank you to Tail Lion. He saw our cash app, our Zelle number that is attached to a bank account, not individual, not Alfonso Soul, not something deliberate, not any other person, but the institution account. And out of his goodwill relation recently, was able to make a donation to the Liberia Public Radio. $100. That's a lot to come from your paycheck for you just to give it. And I believe it is to trust in what he receives on this network. We can, the few people can also try to do that, $5, $10. And we are making massive preparation for the coverage of the electoral process in Liberia, which you want to see. But it is a cost. And the guys in Liberia, we're not paying nobody's unsalaried. They are volunteering because this is a public service. And this is why we do not prioritize. We allow people from different political spectrums, no matter whether you disagree with them, you agree with them, we allow them to come on this network to express their views, their opinions. We do not sanction. And that's how it should be. Media is a conduit between the citizens and its government. We are not for, we are not against. And that's how it's supposed to be. But we are also aware there are people who are doing public relations, who are propagandists for other people. So their talking point, their soundbite is different. So they are different things. There are different places you're going to go to process information. Their language, their tone there is different from what. And that's how it's supposed to be. That's the beauties of the world today. Even in the US here, it is here. So there's no way that we say it cannot be in Liberia. But we'll still count on your support. And we just want to do it free. And this is why we have not limited ourselves. If you're having your conventions, your graduation is ongoing, people getting married, conventions, baby showers, or any memorable event you want to advertise, just let us know. We'll work it out. And that's how the Booker Washington Institute, they have reached out to us. And we're going to be playing this, their promote, and they're going to be here Wednesday. They're going to be having a conversation with me that the Booker Washington Institute, BWR, the Tigers Element Association. There's a big homecoming 30th. So the organization has been around for a while now. 30th homecoming in Newcastle, Newcastle, that is in Delaware County. They're going to be here. What, guys, we want to thank you so much. We say happy Father's Day to all of our people, followers, no matter where you are. Mr. Widot, the Honorable Senator, Senior Senator to Mosserado County, Senator Sir Joseph. Interestingly, the Friends, I didn't know that. The Friends of Sir Joseph in the USA and other parts, they reach out to us as well. And so we are in conversation. As long as they are in compliance with us, we're going to start doing everything. So the window is open. And this is why we say it out here public. You are at liberty to accept and not to accept. We don't have any red tape here to say, oh, we can't talk to the other people. No. Other network can do that. We don't buy more people. We go strictly to the point. We ask critical questions. And I think that's where the focus should be right now. But the drama in the political space in Liberia is just so amazing. The talk that is ongoing now is a huge distraction. By this time, we should need to start talking to the 73 men and women who are part of who wants to be in the first branch of government. What are they doing? What is their history for which they want to seek re-election? And those who even want to come, what are they bringing to the table? What they represent? And those that are seeking the higher office of the land, by this time, issues of policy oriented. That's what we're supposed to be talking about. Yes, you have all right to replace what is there, but what are we replacing it with? Those are questions that needs to be asked. But it's so saddening when you listen to other places, which of course they have the right, 99%, 2 hours of their precious time is to talk about an opponent. What time do you have to tell me what are you bringing to the table or what are you going to be offering? The persuasive method now is what you should be deploying to sell your candidate effectively, his or her agenda, the vision, to draw the contrast. But that's not happening. And you, the Liberian, you, the voters, you facilitate these bad behaviors and only to come back tomorrow when things going wrong, then you switch. and you have no intention to ask all of these critical questions now, you become judgmental. You hear a conclusion is drawn without even getting the other side. That is unfair. And you also happen to treat the country wrongly. We are celebrating. We are making progress. As of the first, another stations will be added to SCAR that will be relayed so that our voices will be echoed. There is a need that will break this corridor, this chain, because the contaminations of information now is being heavily abused, and that's something all of us must frown on. At this time, how many days to presidential? Maybe 115 or whatever days now. And we are not having these presidential candidates. Or we are having now this fairy tale story. This one do this, that one do this and that. Who cares? What happened? You didn't handle it. You didn't conduct yourselves. And things went down. The train derails. So we got to move on. And part of moving on now is to focus on those issues. Why you want to be president? Why you want to be senator? Why you want to be representative? How you intend to do it differently? If people are not taking pay in 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, whatever time you're putting out, tell us, if you become president, how do you intend to regularize government salary? How do you intend to improve the health sectors in Liberia? What is your educational agenda? That's your surrogate. They are supporters. They should be the one at this point in time to start speaking. We need to start having somebody who will be talking on the economy now from these candidates, whether the CPP, the Unity Party, the Tiawan Gonglo, the other folks, so that we'll get a sense of a skeleton team that whoever want to become president will get, oh yeah, this person more or less is the economic advisor. But you have them all over the places talking, message not coherent. One person saying one thing, another person saying another thing. You're not even hearing from the candidates. They go there, everybody dancing, and the thing is all okay. Crowd contest ongoing, and we hear people here celebrating. Is that crowd we're going to eat? I want to see those who are contesting for the higher office of the lands taking a tour in the South regions, talking to their counterparts, telling them, discussing with them the future, how their international contacts will be there. I want to see them going to EU, other places, donors, and making the case. Bobby Wan, the opposition who became a lawmaker, came from the ghetto. He sits with Al Jazeera, international cable news outlet, appeal to world why he wants to be president, challenging Yoweri Museveni. When will we see our folks sitting with CBS, NBC, Fox News, CNN, and project the image to the extent the envoy, the American envoy in the country, to incite himself because people were behaving like a toddlers using these words. They need to stop this nonsense. And he cautioned us as the media. You have people who presided over reputable institutions go on platform without any proof, without anything, and throw out stuff out there that have the propensity to create chaos. And they are here now, they shut their mouth, and people celebrated them because of divisive politics. Political party they can't even stick to. It simply tells some of us this party does not have any ideology. It's only surround an individual. That's why they're running from party to party. If they not see their way through here, then that party become a bad party. They will never fix what's poor in that party. From TWP to LAB to Gabriel Bole to Jabaro Kalon, they have gone through all of these parties. Even when the CDC, ANC people leave and the party fade away tomorrow, they will go to the other party then again. no commitment. No commitment. No issue of substance. The bar some of them were part of the system. Some of them were kicked out because of dishonesty, lack of moral compass, and they sit on major outlets and throw all of the kitchen sink out there. And people allow it to happen. And people celebrate it. Very sad. And you think the kingdoms of the heaven want to just descend and you want Liberia to be why it is. When people who are fighting or people who wants to be national leaders cannot even afford to take a political risk to call out people who are spewing out these garbage, lies, innuendos, subliminal messages, they're not able to contain them simply because they do not want to lose a vote. So where is the determining factor here that they can make good decisions for the country if they can't even challenge one of their own? The late Senator John McCain, he took a political risk during his campaign. When ordinary voter says something incendiary that does not represent his campaign, he went and took the microphone. What you are saying is not me. That's not what my campaign is about. That voter was denounced publicly on camera. You have people who have credibility issue, who yet to explain themselves of their ordeal. We all have ugly stuff. I'm wanting to see they do not even apologize to people of their wrongdoing. What they do, they give justifications of their actions. And we sit down and people sit down and cheer these people out. They're not going to trust you. You are part of the system. You created something that presented you falsely, wrongly, and you were accommodated. Only for us to find out later on you are a different person in yourself. See what is happening? Every person, from politicians to ordinary Liberians to media tycoon, media guru, talk show hosts, journalists, journalists, radio podcasts, everybody protecting his or her own alligator. And this is where we are. We have entered this visual cycle. So when it is wrong today, when you try to hold them accountable, they make reference to something that happened 2-3 years ago. So because we didn't talk about it 2-3 years ago, we are not liable to talk about it now. That's their argument. And they have all of the stories to their fingertip. They never had the courage, the balls, when they were part of the system and they knew very well the system was not serving them right or serving the Liberian people right. They never took the risk to say, well, wait a minute, this system, this is not the system that I fought for and I wanted this system to be. I'm out of here. You waited until the train derailed. And you want to turn all your fluorescent light bulb to be the guy that is good. That is unacceptable. That cannot work with some of us because that's just being deceptive and being very dishonest. I was talking to somebody who said Liberian politicians don't want to go to jail. In order to have a revolution, I'm talking about the revolutions that require change through a democratic process. You have to pay the price. Nelson Mandela paid a political price to beat down the apartheid system. I am not suggesting that the system is in Liberia, but you have politicians who are now willing to take a political risk, who are only worried about how they don't want no votes to be taken away. They are not able to challenge their own party, one of their own, They have their supporters sit on major network and make all sort of statements, say things that are not true, that are wrong, yet they support that and give justifications of what he or she putting out there because it happens in the past. Yes, we profess to have a vibrant society. They are selective where to go, where not to go, because they do not want to be asked tough questions. They do not want to face policy questions. They want to go somewhere and sit and then just spoon feeding and just talk about other people. Just say anything they want to say. And they are managed somehow, some way to get away. And people are so amused by that. And you think the international community are going to take you serious? They're not going to take you serious until you unveil yourself to institutions, critical institutions. Why in the first place you think people that are for you and you always keep going there? What sort of strategy is that? It doesn't make sense. And I'm also aware of the political risk involved. So they are very calculative. This side is not for me. So are we gonna, is that a contest that we're gonna be having? You want to talk to a specific side? You want to be the president of the Republic of Liberia. And so when you are seeking for the higher office of the land, get ready to face the radar. Here we are, how many days to presidential elections? The media industry is saturated with entertainment. They're not asking serious questions. They are not telling us who they are, what they represent, and as to how they're going to rule. How is the key question here. How? And that how is embedded with what you're going to tell us, where you're going to get the money from, how you're going to. Some of us not believe in big spending, a big government, that government is believing spending big. Some of us want to know how you're going to downsize government, how you're going to create job opportunity. How? It's not just by saying it. And it must be shown. It must be exhibited. We want to see the visual aspect of it. Part of that is your engagement. That is not happening. CDC get a red brigade, CPP, UPP, they get a black barrel, blue barrel. What becomes of those people if you are elected president? Where would they be accommodated? You are doing the same thing. So there's no need to complain. Do you think those people are chanting, shouting all day? You don't want, you think they don't want job? Of course they want job. And they should get a job. But what is the vision of that? The underprivileged, they refer to as Zogo. It was the creations of the politicians to get them to be where they are. What is their future? What are their plans as incoming or those who are looking for their job in terms of rehabilitation process? And I'm talking about a comprehensive one, not just putting mantras for somebody to go lay down because you're a senator, you're a representative. What happens when you are no longer a representative or senator? Can you contain that? Where we are talking about, you have to have a psychiatrist, a clinician for the long-term and short-term goal. So this requires people, men and women, who will be in the house and put aside politics and work in the bipartisan sections. I can remember one of these days what's his name? Akara's Gray, and maybe Yeke Koluba and all the other people, the Nyombe Kanga Lawrence, the Daros Dillon, Senator Joseph, and all of those people, where there was one of these days and say, hey, let's go and have a lunch. I understand you are Liberty partisan. I understand you are Unity partisan. I too am a sedition, but we represent a county. This is my agenda. This is my vision for the county. Let's have a lunch. Take it and review it. Let me get your side. It doesn't happen. Because they put party first than the country. And when that happens, there can be no breakthrough. Nothing going to be wrong. The house is a house of elders. But we have some elders who are babies are there and they should not return. They should not return. Politicians cut deals. We see that happening here and not just only here, in other parts of the world, where they can even make way out of no, find way and sit with the president. Mr. President, you need to give us this, and we give this. This is what the Republicans and the Democrats, that's what they can do. We saw the debt ceiling conversation here the other day. You saw how Kevin McCarthy cuckoo hair was challenged when he wanted a speaker from his own party. How many times vote went into motion before becoming speaker? Politicians cut deals, and nothing wrong with that. Our politicians, they are like an enemy. Some of them sit in chambers, their next people or senator or representative that sit by them because he or she from that party, they don't want to even shake hands. Then they come in the public, they profess to be the good ones. Go in chambers where they're supposed to be having civil conversation. And I do understand sometimes it becomes tense. It has to happen because everybody pushing their political agenda. That we are aware. But that should not be a pattern. Create a room, create a room and break through that corridor. Make friends. They're going to be seeking for re-election. We can't just be holding the executive branch of government responsible. The first branch of government provide check and balances on the executive. But if they can be held accountable, if they are not transparent, if they are not open, and then you want the executive branch to be open, that's not even the justification, but their actions as those of people in the house of elders who make decisions for us, whether we like it or not, whether we voted for them or not, they're going to be passing those concessions and ultimately forward to the president for onwards transmissions and be put into laws. 73, my understanding, will be seeking for re-election. Where are they? What is the conversation that we're having? What going to be their vote in Senate? Even if they don't agree with the party, we are not having the conversations because we are being entangled with the drama out there than the real issues that we are facing. We'll go to places and listen to any kind of thing, and we'll listen to it. They draw conclusion. People draw conclusion. Yeah, that's it, without even having the second thought, without even reaching out to those that they have accused of certain things. And media outlet wrong with it. That's been the service. We should provide the education, the gateway, the corridor to allow the electors and the citizenry to make informed decisions. We must create the conversation, the importance of their vote. But my country is so polarized with politics and celebrate individuals, to cut through those corridors is a challenge. And we have the obligations, those that sit behind the microphone. And until you who support those people will take the courage and have the balls to also ask people that you are supporting, wait a minute, I'm supporting you, but this is why you say X, Y, Z time. Can I get a little clarifications on what you were saying? I didn't understand. What's wrong with that? If you ask that question, they will put you on firing squad. Every freaking thing that comes from your leader's mouth, you agree with it. And then tomorrow, the next day, when they not agree with you, then you turn to a renegade soldier who commander dies on the war front. Then you start going ballistic. That's the hypocrisy that we have found ourselves in this new dispensation. Until we can change and retweet our minds, our thinking, the vision for the country, what we hope to do, what we want to do, and how are we going to do. If those things have been put into our practical life, ultimately, we will do it. We are not going to give up. We will continue to have this conversation. Our job is to facilitate this hardcore conversation. Your responsibility is to accept or to reject. Decision Day in Liberia, that is in October. And we hope Liberians, far and near, will take that time. Until then, I'm Afonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio 10 LPR-TV. We say happy Father Day. If this is the first time, we don't usually talk what you want to hear. Sometimes we talk things that you need to hear. And it must sound horrible and terrible in your ears, but that's the fact. And you have the right to challenge what we say. This is why we don't sanction people here. As long as civility is maintained, we don't curse people here, we don't abuse people here. We allow people to speak their mind. And this is why when callers call on this network during our program, whatever say on this network, we hold you accountable as well, just how you hold us accountable. That's the two branches of government there that will be heavily contested in October. The executive and the legislative branch of government. We hope that Liberians will make wise of their vote. And we outside of Liberia, it is our obligations that will make sure peace and sanity is maintained in that country. And part of that is things that comes from out of our mouth, things that we say. We know the history of Rwanda, but some stupid fool just going on the network and saying something to incite people. It is happening now, and nobody is taking decision. That is dangerous for the country. It has to stop. Any media outlet that does not conform with the laws and say freedom of speech, there's a limitation to freedom of speech. In as much you want to exercise your free speech does not in any way to infringe on other people's way of doing things, other people. Are we aware of that? No. And we need to understand that. Have a pleasant date, and by God's willing, we'll be back here tomorrow for more programming. Happy Father Day. Bye-bye.
Chacun a son caractère. Ah, jeunesse sociale, adéquence, l'union fait la force, hein? Bon, putain là, d'ailleurs, plein bras. Comme on a pour le haut, l'été. Dis-moi, non. Ah, au second, dis, oh, ah, oh, dis-moi, non. Dis-moi, non, ah, oh, ah, oh,
Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Facebook, Instagram, the entire line of social media is the Booker Washington Institute National Alumni Association of North America presenting to you 2023 National Convention in Newcastle, Delaware. Hey, the Tigers weekend long reunion will begin on Friday, June 30th, and from 8 a.m. straight up to 8 p.m. will be arrival of guests, registration, and hotel accommodation. Then 7 p.m. until 12 midnight will be the Tigers night out and Queen contest. A admission will be $20 only. Saturday, July 1st will begin with a General Assembly beginning at 9:30 a.m. straight up to 3 p.m. And that will be followed by the banquet and ball. Those open at 7 p.m. Address is 24 Blaine Vines Drive in Newcastle, Delaware. Convention package for members is $150, while the ordinary will pay only $50. And to our sweet and loving kind sponsors, we'll pay $100 only. And then comes Sunday, July 2nd, is the farewell cookout. This is when fellow Tiger gets to say goodbye to a Tiger. And ladies and gentlemen, the cookout address is 156 Boyer Drive in Newark, Delaware. For more information, please contact Charles Babu 267-240-5487, Jacqueline Bush 678-410-7223, Carlo Miller 619-793-7941, Gentleman Hassan Tor 609-280-9051. Please don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this year's convention will be hosted by the Delaware Valley Chapter BWR. Come on, come on, and let's jam the weekend away.
You've worked for months to bring your client's event to life, but unfortunately, the world had another plan. In reality, the only thing you lost is the venue. We take your vision for hosting a virtual conference and bring it to life online. No matter how complex your agenda is, we produce a smooth, engaging experience. Call the Liberia Public Radio today and schedule your event. Our number is 682-433-8802. If you prefer to submit your request via email, please send the request to liberiapublicradio2012@gmail.com. Our staff are standing by waiting for your phone call.
Thank you so much. Have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.